Welcome to round 3, Thursday night modern casual tournaments. On the left we have Ethan, on the right we have Dustin. Ethan is on humans, Dustin is on Dredge. So, Dustin opens up with a Copperland range into a Shriekhorn. He's going to start milling himself to get that Dredge mechanic online. He then drops the new Prince. Prince has a bunch of different mechanics. You can Flicker Wisp one of your creatures, you can scry 2, or you can do, what's the third ability? Get up here quick. Scry 2, gain 3, or exile another target creature you own, return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. So he's got a bunch of sweet abilities. That's a cool new addition to the humans deck. As you can see, I am switching out for a sweet full art foil one, just to add some cool factor to that board. So again, it adds just a bunch of different things you can do to your deck to be able to scry 2 against a deck that you don't need to gain 3 life or flicker at the time. It really sets up a human start really well. Against Dredge, I'm not sure how much it's really going to affect this match other than when you're flickering like Thalia's Champion to pump up your entire board, but so Dustin shrieks himself, throws in a Configurate and a land. Not an optimal 2 cards, but he's going to do it again before he draws. So hopefully we can hit a Dredge spell, which he still doesn't. So he drops a Amalgam, so that when he brings a creature back, he can start bringing the Amalgam beat down. It's a very bad matchup for humans, because it doesn't interact with the board being flooded too well. So we'll see how this turns out. So Timing Grounds comes down, he takes 2. We're going to see a Cathartic Reunion maybe. Alright. So he discards 2. And he's going to dredge Stinkweed. So he's going to dredge himself there. He's adding cards to his graveyard. So if you're not familiar with how dredge works, you're just kind of seeing the deck do what it does. It wants to fill up its own graveyard. Hit a bunch of creatures that interact with lands coming into play or creatures coming into play. Oh, there we go. So we hit Narcomoeba. When Narcomoeba is put in the graveyard from your library, it comes into play, which in turn is going to trigger the Amalgams. They're going to come into play because the creature went into play from this graveyard. He hits yet another Narcomoeba. So this has been an amazing turn 2 for Dredge. So just imagine this deck with the power that it's had over the years with Faithless Looting. That now it doesn't have Faithless Looting and it still does ridiculous starts like this. So both the Amalgams come into play because the Narcomoebas went to the graveyard from the library, which then puts them into play from the graveyard. He fills up his graveyard, and his opponent now is sitting on a 2-2 against 2 3/3s and 2 1/1 flyers. Ethan drops a Champion of the Parish and the Kite Sail Freebooter to pump up the Champion and a look at his hand. He is going to exile a Shriekhorn, a Life from the Loam, a Golgari Thug. Man, his hand has just got a bunch of good stuff still. Not good stuff, but stuff that doesn't matter because he's already done what he needs to do. He's really filled up the board. So at this point, I think he maybe just go for the Life of the Loam and he can't get a bunch more lands back. Because nothing else really matters. Like, he could Shriekhorn himself some more, but that still isn't going to do much. Alright, so he does take Life from the Loam. Again, I don't think it matters because this beatdown is going to come swift and harsh. Champion's up to 2. And I think he's just going to pass the turn. So he untaps. He's probably going to Shriekhorn himself before he draws again. Nope, he's just going to leave it up. So his draw, he's going to dredge his Stinkweed Imp. Another Configurate on the graveyard, and let's see here. Just going to Configurate for a bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Discard 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. So he discards 6. So he can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Clean up that board. All the blood gas in the graveyard don't even matter. Entire board gets swept. He gets back Life of the Loam. And he gets in for 8. Puts Ethan to 12. I don't think there's much you can do. Again, pre-board games, a lot of matchups obviously go good for Dredge. Post-board games, you bring in much more of the graveyard hate. So scoop them all up. Go to the boards, see what we can do to even up this match just a little bit after that. So. Looks like putting 2 on the bottom, so it looked like Dustin mulled twice. And Ethan opens up with Noble Hierarch. So with Dustin on a mull to 5, we'll see how this turns out. Most mulls with Dredge aren't that bad because they just want to hit the components to be able to dredge a ton. So even a hand with 5 cards in it with a good dredge mechanic is what you want over just, you know, a less well-rounded start. Alright. So champion comes down from Ethan and passes the turn. This is not a out of the gate start that humans has, so it's not too good. Even in a multi 5, when you're not applying just a ton of pressure. Like turn 2 Mantis Rider is great. You can start lightning bolting them on turn 2. Cracks Bloodstained Mire. I assume we're going to see a Cathartic Reunion. Discard 2, start dredging away. See this game get punted real quick. Alright, so let's see here. Alright, draws. Let's see a Cathartic Reunion go over the top. Steam Vents takes 2. There it is. Alright, discard, discard. He gets a Bloodghast and a Stinkweed Imp. So first we'll start with a Dredge there, and hopefully we'll hit some more Dredges. Sorry about the camera, which kind of, oh, it seems to be, someone might be bumping it or bumped it, and that's why it's kind of sliding around a bit there. So there's Lightning Axe. They probably sided those in. Gets that Dredge off. Draws 2 after that Dredge. Seems to pass the turn. Alright. Ethan draws. So I think he is missing his land drops. I think that's what's happening over there, yep. So he plays a champion, which is a great 2-drop, even when he misses land drops. It's going to pump up champion to 3. He's going to get +1 from the Hierarch, so 4. So it's not a bad start for missing a land drop. Especially since when he dredged, he only hit 1 card that has to interact with creatures coming into play from your graveyard. So we're probably going to see maybe a second Cathartic Reunion from him. And hopefully that's going to blow open the door. So he pays a red. Oh, it's definitely not Faithful Suiting. Yeah, that ain't in the format no more. So he's still in the Think Tank. Bloodstained Mire coming down. No? Oh, he's probably going to save the Bloodstained Mire in case he hits another Bloodghast off of dredging. But that doesn't matter because he can crack it, grab a line later anyway. So he triggers Bloodghast line coming into play. Cracks that. Ethan being a great guy, helping out with his life total there, if he can find the number. Alright. So we see Conflagrate, discarding. Oh, Conflagrate for 0, so it goes in the graveyard and then flashing it back. Discarding those to kill those 2 guys. And he now has his Dredger back in the graveyard, which is probably what he was really shooting for. Well, no, he had Cathartic Reunion, So he's got a creature in play. Prized Amalgam comes back into play. And so now, with no second land and no Hierarch, Ether Vial comes down. That's way too little too late. Don't think Humans is coming back. Like, this was a perfect match for Humans this round because he just wasn't that fast out of the gates. But with him missing that land drop, he definitely missed that window of opportunity to capitalize on it. And I don't understand. Someone keeps bumping the cameras watching this game. The camera's going wonky. So, drains him for 3. Gets in there with a bunch of guys. Can't even afford to block. It's not going to do much. Goes to 6. There's nothing he can do about that. Stinkweed Demon, it's just hard casted because it's more damage to finish him off. Even if he draws a land here, he's too far behind. I think he's going to enter the scoop phase here. That's a tough beats. You know, when you get that matchup where Dredge doesn't explode out of the gates and you're playing a deck that can, and you miss your land drops, you know, I probably would have mulled that away to ensure that I had 2 lands. I guess he didn't have the Hierarch, but that's one of those games where if it's you get that window, that chance of opportunity, and you miss it because you missed your own land drop, that's a rough one. So, all right, thanks you guys. We'll see you in round 4.